Thank you. This is my room. We weren't in my room last time. We were in.
Oh, that's right. Butler,
PA.
I get that's what I meant. I meant you drew it. You made it.
Yeah, I made it.
There's a TikTok all about it, actually.
That's true.
True. Listen, I don't know from technology. Okay,
you didn't go on the TikTok. I see. I see that you don't care about me.
I'm clearly not a follower. I'm amending that now.
Welcome to Omni Bilateral Panic, everybody. The show where a bunch of queers sit around and talk about stuff. You like it?
You didn't think about that. You didn't think about that before you said it.
I thought you were going to say the show where the points don't, everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah. I'm Cameron.
Oh, yeah. I'm Tessa.
I'm David.
And yeah.
And who are you? Everybody introduce yourselves one at a time. Like, what's the dumbest icebreaker question you've been asked in one of those things? You're in a circle, everybody's got to meet, and the whoever's moderating it is like, all right, so say your name, your pronouns, where you're from, and a fun fact about yourself. What's like a dumb icebreaker question that you've been asked in one of those things?
At Best Buy, every single time there was a new employee, they would say, "And what cereal are you?"
Oh no.
Sometimes it would be, "What's your favorite cereal?" But
oh no.
I like what cereal are you?
What cereal are you?
Doesn't make sense.
What about you?
Let's do it. What cereal are you?
Cereal am I? What cereal am I is very different from what is my favorite cereal.
Well, I'd like to hear both.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite cereal, and this is just who I am as a person, is oatmeal squares. They used to be Quaker oatmeal squares, but now everyone makes them. They're just lightly sweet, and they're lovely. The texture is fantastic.
Go ahead, Tessa. Do it.
I'm Kix, and my favorite is Honey Bunches of Oats.
Why are you Kix?
Oh, they're, like lightly sweet, but like round, crunchy, fun, weird.
I That's good.
I'm in.
Thanks.
I think my favorite is Kix. I think I haven't eaten cereal. Like, cereal's not been a breakfast food that I've eaten in a long time, but
me neither.
I mean, who eats it for breakfast? I don't.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like Kix is one of the ones that I can eat like anytime. And I used to just like put it in a bowl and then I would like eat handfuls of it, like watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Awful. Just awful. But it's pretty plain and straightforward for like that kind of
plain
binge snack.
I think that's
plain. God damn it. No. I
mean, like not plain, like it's not like you're not going to eat Reese's Pieces cereal like that.
No.
You're going to eat Kix like that. And you're just going to be like, handful.
I think Kix are for everyone, right?
I think
they're even like gluten-free. They're gluten-free. They're like not too sweet.
Yeah. I don't even know what they are. I don't know. It's like corn?
Yeah, corn.
Instead
of plain. Yeah. Corn. I'm in. Instead of plain, you should say goes with everything.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right. But if I were a cereal, I think it'd be Apple Jacks.
Hey.
Yes.
Because I love those commercials, and I think that they are slightly annoying in the way that I'm slightly annoying. Where everybody's like, how do they taste like apple? No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because then you eat the Apple Jacks and you're like, oh, this is actually really good. It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Ah,
It's absolutely worth it.
cookie crisp.
I am frosted shredded wheat, the minis. Because
the minis.
the minis, because I am overly sweet just by nature. I am generally good for you in the grand scheme of things, but also easily forgotten.
Oh no. I don't agree with that. You are good for people. You are
Generally
sweet.
good for you're generally good for people.
Generally good for people. That's fantastic.
You're both
love it.
fantastic.
You're
trying to-
fantastic.
Okay, both of you stop it. I think one of the dumbest icebreaker questions was something like, I think it was at an old job. It's always like, if you were a thing, like what would you be? Like it's always one of those kinds of questions.
Always.
And I think it was like, if you were like an accessory, if you were a clothing item or accessory of something, what would you be? I was like, I hate this.
So weird. Yeah. What?
I hate
purse,
this.
sunglasses, necklace. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
don't
be
know.
any of those things.
Yeah.
I'm a necklace because I like hang out.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's that there's no flattering comparison. you know?
No.
I don't
I'm a
want to be a
purse.
necklace. Necklaces are cool, but I don't want to be one.
No, we want to wear them.
I'm a leather belt because I hold things up and am easily undone.
Right. There we go.
Oh, that is good. That's funny.
I like
I'm a
that.
purse because I can you can put stuff inside me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for? That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I like to see you
Wait,
almost spit out liquid, Cameron.
Are we doing Whose Line right now? Is that we're just
We've,
Can I get a suggestion of an accessory that you might be? And then you just come up with lines for it.
Here's the real question. Did Rich have one? I seem to recall vaguely something bizarre happening in our initiations, but I don't remember what it was.
I am pretty confident that I think it was just like, what's your favorite play or musical or something like that.
Oh, like in the interview with Rich or in the
No, when we all first came together as like the class. I keep calling it class. I did that last episode.
You
too.
did.
There's no other way to refer to it.
Yeah.
But our group, when we were all hired together, it was we were all met like, I don't remember, in like one of the classrooms upstairs or something like that. And yeah, I think it was just, what's your favorite play or musical?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't think Rich had a crazy one.
No, but I do remember in the interview when he asked, what do you think is like the number one skill you need to have to be an usher? And what he was looking for was listening. And I kept basically talking around listening. I was like, being able to really understand what people are saying and respond appropriately. And he was like, but so what's the base of that? He really wanted me to get the word listening out of my mouth. And I just didn't do it. But then he still hired me. What a nice man.
What a good guy.
I went on a whole diatribe about how I loved the public as an institution and think that every town in America should have one, which is something that I still believe. But he was like, oh, and pretty much ended after that.
He was like, get me out of here.
He was like, you're hired, but you're too much. And I was like,
Yeah.
I've always been slightly too much.
Don't worry, Cameron. I balanced you out because I'm pretty sure I remember it as a 5-minute long stretch of silence, but there was a significant silence between me and Rich when he asked me a question. I don't even remember what the question was anymore, but my mind just went, and I couldn't think of an answer. And so I was just looking at Rich. It's that Weird Al song, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and we were just looking at each other, and I just kept going, yeah. I think it was a similar question, Tessa. It was like, most important thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. But I also recall in that silence there was enough time that he was sitting like this, and he had like my resume or something on the table, and he just wrote. So like he like stopped, broke eye contact with me to like look down, and like started writing stuff on the resume. And I was like, oh, this is oh boy.
No. That's I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, well, and he was stuck with me for 6 years, so you know, who lost really?
Well, nobody, because you got to be the king of the public.
Yeah,
And
that's
your
true.
play.
I was king of the
Anything happening with your play?
not at the moment. It went really well on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, but I think, I mean, you all know this from having written and produced work yourselves. You have to have follow through with those things, and you have to keep doing it, and because it's just you, like, you know,
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
And I think it's also partially like, if I can find somebody who can maintain that momentum, not necessarily with me all the time, because I'm ready to move on. Like, once like I've written it, I'm ready to start thinking about the next thing. Like the premiere was great, and seeing the show was awesome, but like as soon as it went into my director's hands, I was like, okay, it's not mine anymore. Like,
Right.
I'm ready. My brain's already like churning and moving on to the next thing. So
Right. I spent like, oh golly, 20 months working on Tentacles.
yeah.
And at the end of that 20 months, we did APAPS, you know, to the Performing Arts Producing Conference. Try to get it in front of producers' eyeballs. And the sort of general response we had from people was like, oh, this is great. I can't put it on in the New Jersey Center for the Arts, though. We can't do that. Someone
That's a
will
shame.
be dead from a heart attack. So
Be dead.
You do realize that outside of New York, people are families, right? Theater is a family event.
pretty much that's like the response we got. So yeah, then, and people would be like, so what's next? And I was like, I need to take a nap, a long couple years long nap.
Right.
I hear you. Everything else that I've written, I 100% feel that way, but unfortunately with
Retail
the
Song Cycle,
because it's autobiographical.
It's so good. It's so
Because it's
good.
autobiographical, I keep getting pulled back in.
It's so good. It's so good.
You're sweet.
But that's your it's a not pet project, but like that's your baby. I feel like that's such a precious, you know, unique thing. It's like you said, like it's autobiographical. And I think those are real people in it that like
sure
some of whom you know, you can tell from the show that it's like these are people that I cared about, and you know, that deserves I think a different level of respect altogether, like a different level of dedication. I think your mind is always going to be
well, thanks, pal.
Torn to that. Yeah,
it is. It was really stupid of me to make my first full-length musical that one. It's really stupid.
If only we could have put some just lighthearted crap out there to get us on the way to success and fame, and then we could do our masterpieces.
I guess the three of us should do a Bi Plus jukebox musical.
Oh my gosh, it's time.
That's what it's called.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you all are watching Loki or have any interest, but
you know it.
But the fact that he and she and they are now canonically bi.
I know. I love.
Big deal.
Very
It's a
good
huge
for
deal.
all of us.
Very
good.
I went. Is this really happening?
I think I just had assumed all along that was the case. So I was like,
I mean,
and somebody else was like,
he is.
how about that? I was like, what? But it's
especially
good. It's big.
but it is especially significant coming from the company that has so long
100%.
essentially queer baited the community several times.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
like how many times over the years have we heard like Disney's first gay character, Marvel's first gay character, Star Wars' first gay couple. And it's like, yeah, they're all in the background. They might as well have been in cutout scenes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's almost and some of their queer characters are, it might as well be those history books that are like, oh, and that's her roommate. You know,
They were such good friends.
Yeah.
They were really good friends.
Yeah, you're right. Because in the Star Wars first openly gay couple, like we never saw them kiss.
Nope.
They kiss in the background behind a celebration of other things happening.
Jeez,
You're watching the main
bro.
characters. So the only way that you would catch it is if you
You're
thought
like-
if you kind of thought Rise of Skywalker sucked and you weren't paying attention to the main thing anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
and they,
Which is what I was doing. So I saw, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb. You have Finn and Poe,
Yes.
right
Finn
there,
and
Yes.
Poe are right there.
Make
And
them
so
a
gay.
couple. Make them a couple.
I would have paid such a large amount of money
Make them
to
a
have
couple,
them
and I
kiss.
just and I don't even need it to be like, it doesn't need to be like a big like they even did the gay couple kiss is like the celebration, like, wow, we won, we beat the emperor, blah blah blah. All I needed was like top of the cold open.
Yes.
Poe comes back from something and it's like,
just,
hi,
mwah.
and they just go, "Mwah, okay, I'll see you later." Yeah, and then like Poe gets pulled off into like a celebration, like, bros, and Poe's like, okay, bye, you know, and Finn
Yep.
just, all right,
That's all we needed.
that's all we needed.
That's all.
Ugh,
Stupid.
it's annoying.
It is. Annoying.
But kudos to Loki for making it canonical.
Question though.
Yeah.
Question. Okay, 2 questions about Loki. So my roommate was asking me, is it weird that Loki and himself from a variant of him like kiss? And then follow-up question, what if, right? So we know Loki's bi. What if the variant wasn't the lady variant and was a man Loki variant? And then would that have ended in a kiss, or do you think Marvel would have pussied out?
It would have pussied out.
Yeah, I think they did that to make it acceptable.
Wow.
Yep.
I
F
think,
you, Marvel.
yeah, I think they had to, because they rely on too much money to from people that would be opposed to that, to alienate them.
Oh, I'm sure it's already a huge thing down
Yeah.
south and in the
I'm
small
sure.
communities like where I'm from. But in regard to your first question, did anyone ever see, I mean, this is completely random, but it always just makes me think of this. The Harry Carey, Will Ferrell sketches on SNL. If you were a hot dog, where'd you eat yourself? But like someone put it to me when I was very young. If you met a clone, would you fuck yourself? And so, you know, it's something that I've been thinking about forever and I still don't have an answer to. But like, if you were a clone, would you fuck yourself? I mean, I think Loki would. For sure.
I don't
think
Loki
that's weird
would.
at all. I don't know if I would. Maybe.
I don't think I would.
Maybe. guess
I
it
think
would
I know
depend
too
on
much
the
about myself. Like,
circumstances.
I need some mystery about that person I'm gonna bang.
Yeah, but
I'm
then
be
you
like,
know-
I know you too much.
You know everything that you like.
Yeah, it's not
Literally
myself.
Everything.
I think I would, and I think I would take that as a challenge. I would be like, I'm gonna try and be unpredictable to myself.
Oh, I'm gonna try and surprise me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and surprise me.
That's fun.
At the end of the day, it's basically just cosmic masturbation. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't. I tried to picture it and I was like, this is gross.
The other part of it is that Loki's a shapeshifter. So
Mm.
Loki's alternate universe form female form is a form that I would think that Loki finds attractive in his mind, right?
Right.
I guess. I don't know. But that's how I would think if I was a shapeshifter.
He's also a
So-
narcissist.
And he's also a
Exactly,
narcissist. So I
exactly.
think, yeah, it doesn't take a lot to get me to Loki, his first kiss, or like that kiss being with himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it would take me that much to get myself there either.
I guess it would depend on what age me I'm meeting.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's
golly.
interesting.
That's a
Oh,
whole
wow.
other box of worms.
Because like
Oh,
18-year-old
no.
me was young and naive and kind of
Right.
pretty, but also just awkward as hell.
Right.
Oh, Jiminy. Oh, Jiminy.
25-year-old me was also awkward as hell.
Oh, you know what? This conversation has revealed I have a lot more work to do on liking myself. I have a lot of homework.
You're just thinking of all
I
the
gotta go
ages.
journal. I'm like, not that age, not that age. I'm
Yeah.
swiping. What's the way? I'm swiping the wrong way on all of me.
You're swiping left.
I'm swiping left on my entire.
All your ages are like, oh, that all of them hated myself. Oh no.
No, it's so funny. My brain is like about to implode because I'm like, oh, me when I think of when I was hot to myself,
Uh-huh.
I'd like if me now came up and was like, hey, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Is that crazy? Am I crazy?
No, I think I'm on along the same lines. And I don't think it's like a hatred, self-hatred or anything like that. I don't think
Okay.
No,
I don't
it's
think
just
it's necessarily a negative thing. I think
it's a unique way of thinking.
Yeah.
Indeed it is.
yeah. Realistically, you're never going to be confronted with this situation.
Thank goodness.
But
Thank goodness. Let me let this
Thank
go.
God.
I'm letting this go. I'm like,
I'm not investing another moment in this.
I'm brushing this off of me.
But I would be the same, because I think like in my mind, my like peak attractiveness thus far in my life, it would
Thus
be
far.
before I moved to New York. So
Oh, what?
like in my
That's-
early 20s. Mhm.
Get the frick out of here. You've been nothing but handsome this whole time.
Oh, you shut the front door. But I
Second.
will take the compliment. But but again, it's just how my perception of myself. I think on the scale of what I've looked like throughout my life, I think that was my peak attractiveness that I would be most attracted to. And I would be the same if me now came up to me. I would be like, well, first of all, I'd scream because I'd be like, what is happening? So, and then second, it would be like, but I think the other thing too is I don't think I'd have the same like sexual adventurousness to do that. I gained that in my 30s.
Nice. Good call. Yeah, I moved to New York in the midst of a long dry spell. And the dry spell continued. And I was just very like, no thanks. No thanks. For a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was newly married, so I was getting lucky quite often.
Oh, you
Heyo.
rascal.
Heyo. I guess I'm fortunate in that this right now is the most attractive that I have ever felt and believed
Hey.
that I am. So like if me today came up, I'd be like, what the hell? Why not? Let's take this for a spin. But
Try
like,
it. Let's try it.
and
I love
hopefully the younger me's would be like, okay, all
Yeah.
right. There's a future here. We have
Yeah.
something to live for.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. What a
Younger-
weird conversation
What a
that I
weird-
adore.
I know. This
I
is what
love it.
This is what happens when you when you let me open the conversation.
No, this is phenomenal. This is everything that I want this podcast to be.
On the other,
I'm going to cut that out because I'm not the boss.
Okay. On the flip side,
David's the
of-
boss. He's gonna fire us.
who's the boss?
Tessa's
on
the
the flip-
boss.
Slightly, maybe it's not opposite, but I was also going to say to make it like end and kind of close this on a like a little bit more positive note, my younger selves would be would find my current self pretty cool.
Yeah.
Attractiveness is a whole different thing, but I guess that's also like I'm not necessarily attracted to myself, so that's a whole other thing. But mentally and like personality wise, I would, if I met if my 18-year-old self or my 16-year-old self or even my 25-year-old self met me now, they would be like, oh shit, okay, we turned out all right.
Yep.
Shoot,
Turned
you
out
know what?
all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
First
I
of
think
all, you're
probably about the
alive.
same
That's
thing.
great.
Right?
Second of all,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any other interesting queer news, queer tidbits?
Oh, Loki's the big one.
I'm not going to talk about politics because everything's awful.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Keep it light. Keep it light. Here's
Yep.
some puns to pass the time.
Well, in other queer news, I found out a friend and I were talking about this podcast, and also we were talking about being bi, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not out, but my settings on my dating apps are men, women, and all people." And I was like, "Oh, well then, aren't you bi? Like, aren't you, And her point was like, until she's like literally dating a woman, she does not feel like she needs to have those conversations. And I was like, ooh, dang, am I a hypocrite? Because she didn't directly say you're a hypocrite. But there was like that light, when she was talking about how it was for her, there was the light, like, until I'm with a woman in some sort of like relationship, then there's no need for me to publicize the fact that I'm interested, like that I'm attracted to women. And I was like, well, dang, here I am. I'm publicizing away.
I think that's a personal preference, though. I think that's a choice.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Maybe it's not black and white in the world.
No, of course not.
It's definitely not. I mean, if we're being honest, I am out and proud, but like I'm not broadcasting, mostly because it's not safe for me here to broadcast.
Right.
But like also it was really important for me and for my mental health to be out and to tell the people that I care about that this is who I am. Yeah. And it made a huge difference as far as just everything in my life. So I hope that friend comes to a place where she can, if she needs to.
Yeah, I think the thing is she's not, she lives in New York City. She's not going to be like facing any, from within New York City. I don't know the sitch with the fam, but she's not going to be facing any like,
right,
shock or pushback. So, yeah.
And I think that's because I have friends who still have some of those, I don't know what to call them, but I guess hang-ups about, I just went through it with my mom, actually. When I came out to my parents are very supportive. They're great stuff, thankfully. Like, I'm very fortunate for that, right?
Ditto.
But my mom was like, first we had to explain what a bisexual was, and then my mom had to be like, wait, but does that mean, did you not love your girlfriends? And I was like, no, doesn't, first of all, it doesn't have anything to do with that. So,
Nope.
But but people have like certain just hang-ups about like what those personalities or orientations mean, and it takes them a bit to wrap their head around it.
It does. It does.
Because
sorry.
For you, Cameron,
no, go ahead.
Well, for people who are in long-term partnerships as well, like for her, it's like, well, till I'm, seeing somebody who's not, who's of the same gender as me. But for people who are in long-term partnerships, I feel like those people should feel very free to come out, even if they decide they want to stay in a committed, and or monogamous long-term relationship, right?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought I talked a lot in therapy about this very thing because I was like, because I am who I am, I balanced every possible outcome and thought of every possible horrible thing that could happen. And I spent a lot of time thinking about how, especially in this community, it would damage my wife's and my relationship in people's eyes because they would think it was somehow fraudulent, even though it's 100% valid, even though she is the person I love most in this world. It's, they're like, oh, well, eventually, because of all of the negative bi stereotypes, eventually you're going to cheat. Eventually you're going to grow tired of her. Eventually you're going to do something terrible because this is who you are. And it's
weird to have those prejudices. It's like that doesn't change anything about my bisexuality does not change my feelings of monogamy.
No.
Or my feelings of my love for this person that I've chosen to spend my life with, It just means I have this other thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I mean that's exactly what it was. And in the end I decided to come out not only for my own benefit and my own well-being, but because there's not a lot of representation for people in my circumstances. There's not a lot of people who it's really easy to hide when you're in my circumstances.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hide. I want to be a beacon of hope for people. And I was very fortunate that I have so many little baby queers as students, and I have several pans and several bis, and two of my bi students are dating each other and have been for a long time, and they both identify as bi, and they both are masc presenting and femme presenting, and so it looks like a fairly heteronormative situation, but they both came out at the same time. As a couple, and it was really great to watch. And so I just
that's powerful.
Yeah,
awesome.
and so it's and one of my pan students is also in a quote unquote heteronormative relationship, but loves this person more than I have ever seen, and it makes her so happy. So it's I think it's really important to just be out and be yourself, and at least it was for me. And so
That's super sweet. I'm super glad that everybody's found love. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a yenta. I'm a matchmaker. Just you wait.
God.
I will find someone. Don't tempt me. I have 6 marriages under my belt.
Whoa, what?
I do.
Ay. My most friends. I have a confession that I just realized.
Yes.
When I got a text from somebody that I double booked myself, and I'm supposed to be at a Girl Tales meeting.
Oh my goodness.
Go to your Girl Tales.
Do you hate me the most if I dash away?
No.
I could come back right at 9 because we usually wrap things up by 9, or
I'm still free. I don't know about you, Cam, but
I'm still free too.
yeah, without me. Go on without me. Oh wait, you mean come back at 9?
yeah, we can come back.
Oh, do you hate me the most? Okay.
No.
Coming back at 9 is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
the most
absolutely
best bosses ever. Cameron, this is gonna mess up the recording. I'm sorry.
No, it won't.
No, we're
It's
gonna go to
fine.
we're gonna go to a commercial right now. We're gonna go to a commercial. We'll come back. We'll see everybody after the break.
We'll see everyone after the break because we're sponsored now.
Yeah, we're sponsored.
Episode 2. Woo!
Sponsored by we're sponsored by Adam and Steve, a queer dating site.
Oh.
We were talking about when I was battling with coming out, one of the things that I talked with my therapist a lot about is, am I bringing harm to the community because I feel like I have more power as a straight ally than I do as an out person.
Wow.
And I battled with it a lot because I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I felt like I was making more of a difference as a person who defies gender norms and is quote unquote straight facing. And I wasn't,
I absolutely see what you mean.
yeah. And I ended up, of course, deciding against it. Deciding against staying in the closet for the betterment of the community, because in the end, the representation means more to me. And, I wish something like this had been around when we were young. Might have been helpful. But yeah, did you feel similarly, David?
I did. I was saying, off camera. I was saying that
off mic.
Off the record. No, not off the record. This is a podcast. I was saying that, I knew for a lot longer that I was not straight, but I also had to recognize that there was an incredible amount of privilege that I was giving up to be able to argue with assholes who say shit, or just anything, I would get questions of like, why are you advocating for a community that you are not a part of, like it doesn't affect you? And it's like that, if it doesn't affect me, that is why you should be doing it. Like it's that Onion article, right? I can't tell you that you need to be a good person, and that's part of like being a person, is like you live in this world, and as much as it's like take care of yourself, do things that like be like better yourself, and work hard for yourself first. You are part of a community and you affect other people, so it's you can't completely live in this bubble of, well, if that doesn't affect me, I'm not gay, I'm not queer, and so it's not my business. And it's like, no, it's absolutely your business. If people are suffering, if people suffer, you are responsible for your inaction. Like if you don't do something, then you're you're helping to perpetuate that.
Yeah.
And like, same, Cameron, I was like, I think I'm more effective of like calling people out on shit if I am straight and people see me as the straight, kind of weird theater guy, with the girlfriend, but he has nail polish, but he's long hair, but whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of those things.
Well, and yeah, I was actively dismembering the patriarchy as a straight presenting person, and I worried that like my messages would not be as effective. You can be a dude who sews and it has nothing to do with anything.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, he's gay, so of course he does things that are not normal.
Right. Because of course stereotyping exists, I think, much more for men who are gay and bi
100%
than for women. So for me, there wasn't a lot of loss of privilege because I already don't have the privilege that like a straight man does.
You already have
no, 100%. You
that's its own thing. That's its own set of problems.
Right.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, I think if I was moving in certain spaces, I think if I was moving in different spaces and had a different family, and it's coming out as bi as a woman is still a risk for some women. And coming out as gay is still a big risk for some women. But for me, it was like, no, I'm not giving nothing up.
Right.
I give up nothing.
Yeah. And I guess that in some way, like, depending on what you're focusing on, that's a very fortunate, that's a privilege in its own right. And also it can be like a scathing indictment of patriarchy that it's like the woman did not have to, was already at a zero sum. So what's one more thing?
What is one more thing?
I think it's much more that I'm just in a very lucky and like privileged position for sure than that I had some zero. But it is funny because, I think in feminist circles, this is sort of spoken about. Like, the further away you get from a societal feminine ideal, the easier it is to get even further. Like, my body shape has been changing, and then I was like, well, let's see what happens when I grow out my armpit hairs. And there wasn't a big risk because I already don't look like a Instagram waxed lady.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nor
for me to like grow
you.
my armpit hairs wasn't a big risk, but I still feel weird things about it. I think there's still like stuff inside you that you feel weird about, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, breaking down these societal things that we've been conditioned to think our entire lives are really hard. It's really hard.
And I think there's more. I think there's there's a butt ton of conditioning for male presenting and femme presenting, mass presenting and femme presenting people. But I think because of the big like wave that we're in of feminism currently, there's a lot more support for women in breaking away from those societal standards than there is for men.
Yeah.
I feel bad for y'all. Sorry.
I mean, it's about running out of fucks to give, honestly.
Yeah.
I see it as I don't feel as bad for us. I feel like
I don't either.
and part of it is an acknowledgement of my own privilege as like a man. There is like I'm entitled. Society believes me entitled to certain things that like I have to remember. I do not. I'm actually not entitled to. It's you need to be a person and like respect and give space and all these things. But I think I think I've seen the constraining societal standards for women be monetized and have men benefit from like women feeling inadequate. Like makeup, clothes, like all of these things are majority owned by men. And they prey on women feeling inadequate and wanting to present in the most feminine, beautiful way possible. Femininity is beauty only in so much as we want you to pay for it. You don't have it on your own. You don't have it on your own. You have it when you buy our products. And I don't have that presented to me as a man.
No, never.
I have societal expectations on me of like, you need to man up, you need to not show emotions and all these things. But I've never had it like, if you buy this, then you will feel more of a man. It's like, no, I get those because they're just given to me because I'm entitled to them as a man.
I mean, there are some products that they're starting to market
body
now.
Spray?
Axe body spray. And there has been, luckily enough.
High school.
Ooh. I mean, I rocked it. I think even to early college.
I absolutely did too in the early 2000s. I smelled of Axe body spray.
I smelled of Axe essence, which is actually still a pretty good smell. It's not terrible.
It's okay. I do know the one you're talking about. I think I used essence too.
Of course you did. It's because we're queer. Anyway,
but
because it's not the gross smell.
I wonder if the role, like the way women are rolled up in and tied up in the capitalist system is different in that like women's images of women and also products for women are based around like the feminine ideal.
Right.
I think it is for men in a small way too, but I feel like, people aren't out there being like, look at this, the way they are when they're like, talking about ads for women.
Yeah. No, that's true. I I have started in when I'm teaching stage makeup to little kids and middle schoolers that I start by, because there's always, some kids in there who have grown up in a toxically masculine environment. And I'm like, every single person that you see on television, including all of your favorite sports stars, are made up to the nines.
Yeah, so true.
Because it is true. And like there's just this weird disconnect that we have because,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to show them that one video of that news anchor who like very hurriedly puts on makeup on himself. Have you seen this?
No.
He's such a, it's like a local news anchor, and he's like set up his phone, and he's like, all right, everybody wanted a makeup tutorial, so here we go. I don't really know what any of this stuff is, but I use it, and the makeup person has never told me I'm wrong. So here we go. He's like, you start with concealer, and he like does the whole thing, but it's like at what I would call a man's pace of like makeup. It's like, here we go. Put on some concealer. Yes, there we go. Just just cover everything, and then the base. Yeah, just put the base and a little bit of this. I don't know what this is, but it brings out my eyes. I don't know. And then like he's like talking to like his coworkers, like you can't see them, but he's like, Carol, I'm doing one of those makeup tutorial fits. And then he just finishes and he's like, all right, news time. And then like the news starts and he looks great, but
wow,
it's so funny. And I think it's
so funny.
I think that's an important formative video.
It is. This is a related topic, but similar. When my wife, because she is so wonderful, when I first came out to her, she was like, are your pronouns changing? Mm-hmm. And I thought that was such a wonderful thing to ask.
I think, didn't I tell you that about my sister would saying, basically thinking the same, thinking that I was coming out as non-binary when I came out as pan.
No, my wife just wanted to double check and make sure that all the bases were covered because she's wonderful.
That is great.
I told her, and I like to go on record with this, that my issues with gender are political and not internal. And I'm very privileged to feel that way. Thank goodness. But like,
ditto.
I think dudes should be able to wear whatever they want and wear makeup and paint their nails and do whatever. Like, but that is issues with the patriarchy. That is not because I feel like I need to express who I am inside. And that is an incredibly privileged position to come from. But at least I know that about myself. At least that is something that is clear.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, because I feel just as comfortable sort of when I had super short hair and, growing out, I'm going to say it again, I grow my armpit hairs.
Ew, gross. No.
Like I feel just as comfortable like that as I do like wearing a dress, having long hair. And that's a position of privilege too, that like no one ever questioned my femininity when I changed how I looked, Yeah.
I think it's important though, like it's important to recognize privilege as someone who also has to be embroiled in conversations about people of color, and that whole political sphere. It's like and social sphere. It's important to acknowledge privilege, but it doesn't lessen the impact. And I think it's just as important for people who are like looking for role models or looking for these beacons to also see that there are queer people that they can look up to that didn't have to get there necessarily through trauma. Like the queer narrative does not have to be littered by trauma and heartbreak and all the terrible things. That is certainly something that is done and needs to be talked about, but part of helping alleviate that is like having more of these narratives that are like, yes, I come from incredible privilege. I was supported when I came out. I had a partner who loves me. I had siblings and family who was very supportive. That's awesome. And that's great. And you can do that without any sort of like, without any gender dysphoria, any trauma, anything like that. And I think that's such a relief for young people to see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Very good point.
Yeah, it's the same thing when it's a person, for person of color. I mean, at least in my experience, it's like, yeah, it's great to see all of these stories about our adversity and our challenges as people of color. But it's also great if can you just do like Crazy Rich Asians, just a fun love story, like a rom-com?
Yeah.
That's also just as important.
I'm hearing more and more the phrase just happens to be, right? So universal stories in which the characters are people of color or the characters are queer, but the stories are universal. Yeah, I think it's so important.
It is.
And
it's contributing to the normalcy and getting away from the white heteronormative narrative.
I think of those little queer kids you're teaching, Cameron.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, they can have that, especially in maybe a community that does not immediately embrace them all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're just as numerous as New York, which is a little bit more open and a little bit more embracing.
Right.
But the alphabet mafia is everywhere.
Yeah.
One of my students actually, they identify as non-binary and as pan as well, but are not out because their family is awful.
Oh,
but
that's tough.
When they asked me, they're like, they literally said, "Are you a member of the alphabet mafia?" And I was like yes, I am.
I like that. I think that's the best way to refer to them.
I think so too.
The alphabet mafia.
Alphabet mafia all around. And speaking of terrible voices, boy, do I have some updates in Antiquated Popular Culture Hour.
Oh, great.
Weird that there's updates.
I have to do a correction because last episode we were talking about What's My Line? And we were talking about Dorothy Kilgallen, and I reductively called her a gossip columnist. She was. I mean, her Voices of Broadway column was known throughout the world as the pinnacle of gossip for the New York theater and movie scene. It was it was what everyone read across the entire country, but it discounted so much of who she was and what she did. So I would like to talk a little bit more about who she was. She graduated from college at the age of 18 and got a job immediately and was known throughout the country as one of the greatest journalists of our time. And she died tragically and mysteriously. And
no.
Because of
yes.
Kennedy, right?
Yeah, that's just it. Is she was found dead in her apartment of a supposed alcohol and barbiturate overdose. But it was super suspicious. So much so that they are reopening her case file this year and looking back into it.
Oh my God, I have chills.
So she covered the Sam Shepard murder trial in depth.
Oh my goodness.
And fought vehemently against the guilty verdict because she poked holes in the defense, which is fascinating. But she was covering the Kennedy assassination and had interviewed Jack Ruby and had put out his testimony in the papers before she was allowed to, so that people could actually read because she was poking holes in it. And the day before she died, she supposedly said, "I'm going to blow this story wide open." And then was found dead.
She died.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
But yeah, I watched a couple of really interesting documentaries about her life and about books that have been written about her. And it just, I was So fascinated. And
Oh my gosh, that's going to give me such a tinge of like sadness now when I go watch more of What's
well,
My
I mean,
Line.
the thing is don't be sad. She had 16 years and she was beloved. And actually, you can find the episode where her colleagues continued on the first Sunday after she had passed, and they were all incredibly respectful, but they like she would want us to continue, so we're going to.
Oh.
And like it was surprisingly touching for
like
the 50s.
Old TV.
old
Yeah.
TV. It was very genuine, and you wouldn't
Jeez.
expect it to be. But she was a remarkable person, and I would highly recommend the documentaries. One is with the reporter who wrote, actually he's an ex-lawyer, but the author who wrote Reporter Who Knew Too Much.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
And yeah, it is because of that book, which was just recently published, that they're reopening
Reopening the case?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
So my apologies to Dorothy Kilgallen and her estate. I did not mean to be reductive. That was not fair of me. My apologies. But like,
I want it on record that I referred to her as a journalist first.
You did. And I dismissed, and that was awful.
Kidding.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. I went on record that I just did not know who she was at all. I feel bad.
I mean, don't feel bad.
Super cool. Super fascinating.
Yeah.
We don't get that. This is the stuff we want to hear in school. We want to hear like spooky stuff.
Yeah, we do.
I want to hear about actual cool people from history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it was surprisingly like heartfelt and vulnerable in those days. It's like a little odd when you think about it on TV, but it's like they didn't have there was no such thing as like a TV persona. Like everybody was just who they were, you know. I just think that's interesting because it's watching it now with the lens of like I'm watching it like so many years in the future. Those are these weird eccentric personalities of like, you know, Dorothy Kilgallen, Bennett Cerf, like all these people, but like that's just who they were. There wasn't a TV persona. The TVs just got invented one day and they were airing and people had to be on TV all of a sudden.
Right. That's a very good point.
Kardashian or whatever, you know, there was like,
right.
I don't know. I only know how to be myself. So I'm going to be the same person that I was before the cameras turned on.
Yes. And they were, the majority of them were like really progressive and delightful, and the way that you find that they weave humor in so that like people of the day understand but like are still trying to push their ideals, I find it endlessly fascinating. I guess that'll be my second doctorate.
Sorry for the noise of seltzer in the background.
How dare you? I'm sorry for the noise of whiskey in the background.
That's how it sounds.
Don't drink whiskey like that.
I didn't. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right.
This is a lovely Irish whiskey, so I would.
Oh,
it is being savored.
Irish.
It's interesting. I'm still thinking about Dorothy and Co. And like this idea of like personas and identity, and how do you feel like it's with the advent of TV and like social media, and that we have so many different identities? Because I feel like there's a lot of like, I'm this way when I'm with these people, I'm this way when I'm with these people. And I always felt like, oh, that's how it always is and always has been. But I wonder if there are some folks now who are like one way all the time. I usually don't like to hang out with them. But but I wonder if it is because we are existing in so many different spaces than we once did as people, as humans.
I think it arose because of opportunity. Yeah, I think maybe it was like because we had less before. You know, I had like when I was a kid, it was like school and home. You know, like But then as you get older and like technology has progressed, it's like I remember like I'm very different. Remember when we all had AIM, like AOL? I find myself funnier like writing than I was sometimes in person. So it was like I'm better at that. that's a whole other persona. It's not totally me, but it is like an aspect of me.
Yeah.
Like I think those, because there was a diversification of it, like there was more room to allow those personas to become something.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
And some of them are not as different. Like, yeah, like some people can be very comfortable on stage, you know, as themselves, and then they are kind of that same person off stage. But it's
Right.
like I know that when I do improv, and I don't know, like if Tessa, like you feel this way, if you've done, like when you do improv, it's like I have a very different persona when I'm on stage, and I have to greet an audience, I have to host a show, and I feel like that I don't feel like I'm being inauthentic.
Right.
But it is not how I necessarily would like go up to a group of people at a party, you know, and say hi. That's a very different me.
I'm thinking of hosting specifically because I've been hosting a character show pretty much only since the pandemic. We had the show was handed over to me and my friend, and we did like one show, and then it was like pandemic. So we did some online, but
yeah.
funnily enough, I tend to think of myself as like more me, most me when I'm doing that. And like, I have a harder time, I feel like, in smaller groups being myself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like myself is like that bigger version, and that like, I have to kind of like cool it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't succeed. I feel like when we worked at the Public, people were like, "This lady's too much."
Hey, the theater is only for people who are slightly too much.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you came back. Came back, Tessa. But like, I won't mention any names now. But I feel like that sentiment very appropriately describes pretty much everybody that we worked with.
You know what? Very good.
In different ways.
Very good call. In very different ways.
But all of us were
everybody
slightly too much.
Yeah, and not in negative ways. I don't mean it as like I didn't like being with this person or whatever. But it's
right.
There was this going into it knowing like this is going to be a lot. So just know that you will have to match this energy and invest this amount of emotion, and you're fine. You know.
Yes, but you do have to. There is, I think, a lot of like sort of dancing it through expressiveness required from when you're hanging out with certain of the many wonderful folks. We really should make a situational comedy based.
We should. Oh. I have a question and a comment.
Great writers
regarding.
We'll call it. We'll call it Public Rex.
Public Twerks.
I will not call it Public Twerks. I refuse.
Two questions regarding that. Well, a question and a comment. Do you recall about what age you started to feel disenfranchised with a single version of yourself? Because it was right when puberty hit that I started to notice that I was becoming a different person around different groups of people. Before that, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I wasn't conscious of it.
Oh, wow.
I remember, well, I think that it must have been around 9th or 10th grade for me as well, because I started to take action. I started to change my personality consciously to I think be more pleasing. To be more what I thought I had the potential to be.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
that's good.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but I would go home and then I would then I would go home and like scribble evil drawings in my notebooks, you know, like just drawing like just satanic shit.
Of course.
I remember going home and writing what I thought was very deep, like
poetry.
Oh God,
meaningful poetry, and then the poems turned into plays, and
we need to read all of them right now.
Well, this is the thing. So this is, or was I? telling you that? No. So my roommate and I, trying to get this show, we did two showings of it, where basically like you take a playwright or like somebody we know. It was initially people we know, and the first 2 episodes where we did our plays, but it's like we're going to do a quick staged reading of the very first thing we ever wrote.
Yes, I remember that. I remember. Yes,
and listen, like I didn't do anything. I didn't read it, and I didn't have any input on rehearsal. So they had like one rehearsal where they read through the script and like got some notes from a director friend, and then they went up and performed it, and I heard it for the first time with the audience.
Oh my god.
And there's there's a part of me that's like was like cringing and like dying inside. It was like sitting on my own roast, like having to sit and listen to like, oh my god. And the thing that I told my roommate afterwards was like, what's so funny is that I remember sitting in my room at like 14, 15 years old, midnight, sleepless, like scratching this poetry and like this play onto my desk and being like, this is my treatise on love and meaning and like what are we in the universe and like all these things. And then listening to the play, it's like it's nothing. It's absolute bullshit. He had nothing to say. 16, 15-year-old me had like he would be like, you know what love is? And then like nothing follows. There's like there's no insight. It was so jarring.
Yeah.
But I think it was around that time too. I think it was like a teenager. I think it was theater too. I think it was theater did it
100%.
Because I was like, oh, this is weird. I think it's kind of neurotic. But like, if somebody said something that they liked, that I did as a character that I played, I would be like, I think that means I can pull it off. That means I can do it in real life. So then that would just become part of my personality.
Oh my gosh.
That's not neurotic.
Wild.
That's amazing.
I think it sounds weird to me out loud.
I mean, I thought things like that too. I remember being, as a teenager, I so desperately wanted to be sexy. I don't know why, but I just, probably societal pressures, but I so desperately wanted to be sexy. And so I would do anything that I possibly could to emulate what I thought was sexy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And
what did you think was sexy?
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. What did you?
Well, I worked out a lot.
Rundown?
I worked out a lot.
Give us sexy tips.
Okay.
And like, I tried not to smile too much.
Oh no.
This went on for a very short period before I realized that was just the antithesis of who I am. So like, not possible to maintain. But boy, did I try. And like, I would just try and maintain space. And basically what I should have learned was like, if I was being myself, what I wanted would have come through, but I was trying all these other things to make it happen. Speaking of which, my other comment was, I have this bit that I do where I say, do not feed me tequila because all of the 14 filters that I have precariously installed over my lifetime will fail simultaneously, which is true. Mm-hmm. That I suddenly become a not very nice person.
What?
Tequila is a mind-altering drug. So, like, I mean, we're talking 3 shots, but like...
Tequila's my favorite.
It is a mind-altering drug. It has a tendency to bring out what you don't normally show.
It's made by worms or whatever, so yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's made by worms.
It's made by worms.
But like...
What?
In regard to this conversation, do you view filters as an enhancement or...
Something...
it depends.
A denounce. Nope, that's not the
like
word I'm
something
looking
that
for.
takes away authenticity.
Yeah. Of authenticity.
A hindrance of authenticity.
Oh, I have some
hindrance. There we go. What a lovely word that is.
I have some opinions.
I think it depends.
I can't wait.
Tessa, do it.
Is this okay?
Yes.
No, it's not.
I
Filters
dated
going up.
somebody.
You're the boss here. Come on.
I'm taking down
you're
these
the boss,
filters.
Tessa.
That's right. Listen, I'm the boss. Who's the boss? I dated somebody who was like notoriously like, I say it like it is. And I don't filter what I say. And firstly, what a terrible time I had. But secondly, most of the time they were using that as an excuse to say things that were cruel.
Be an asshole. Yeah.
And like, so I feel like if you're use a filter to avoid cruelty, unnecessary cruelty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think sometimes I have too many filters so that people feel like they can't necessarily trust what I say because I've filtered it too much. So I swing the other way, maybe too far, where I'm like, people are like, well, Tessa's just too complimentary, so we can't trust her honest opinion. But I'll tell people like, this is my honest opinion, But then they're like, yeah, you said that last time and I looked like a herring, not a person. I don't know.
I thought you were going for herring.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. For a herring, you looked beautiful.
Right. Didn't you not say, do I look good for a herring?
That was my herring. That's what you said to me.
I agree with you, Tessa. I think that is so much. It's so much more often used as an excuse to just say terrible things and be a terrible person, and not take accountability for it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is just who I am. You have to deal with it. And it's like, no. You can grow up. You can grow up and you can do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to say any of those things.
Yeah. And it's not, I don't think, because when they're thoughts, they're just your thoughts, and your private internal mind is your own business, So it's like,
absolutely.
So it's like, if you have those thoughts, and I think we all do, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Those are totally valid, and it's not wrong to think terrible things or bad things or like mean things or cruel things, but it is that's the first filter, and I think that is a very necessary and important filter. It's the filter that says like, well, okay, you can have that thought, but now what do you do with it? Or like, how do you actually confront the world? How do you deal with the world?
Right.
How do you make it constructive?
We're trying to teach that to this kid that I babysit because he is extremely critical of his little sister. She's 4 years old, and she'll be like playing a pretend game, and he'll be like, why are you doing that? You're making stuff up, And we've started to tell him, which I think is smart, that his parents came up with this, and I like it. He can think criticism in his head, but he doesn't say it out loud. And it's like, oh, thank goodness. Like, but he still doesn't do it. But as soon as they introduced that rule, I was like 5 times a day. I was like, excuse me, you can think the criticism, but you don't need to say it.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 8. So it's like, get off her case. She's 4. When you were 4, you were a little
age.
Psycho.
Yeah. That's about the age that they start to be like,
8 is a terrible age.
I've started to, they've learned to be like critical and not like critical
and
thinking,
cruel,
but just negative. Yeah, just cruel.
Yeah, just cruel.
Yeah. But also, like, is she very good at imagining? Like, how good?
She's great. She's the best. Okay. She's the best person.
Does she take notes
she's one of my favorite people. She will, but the thing is, I don't want her to take those notes. You know what I mean? Like, that thing when they're like, if your words make somebody who loves to sing stop singing, like then you're a fucking asshole, right?
Yeah.
So if he's like, your singing's not good, I want to punch him in the fucking face and throw him out a window because I want her to keep singing because it makes me so happy. It makes her happy.
That was one of the most important things that I took away from theater school, is that bad notes are worthless.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it took me a long time to unpack that. But like, you don't have to listen to bad notes. The notes are not good unless they're helpful to you, period.
That is so key. I think I need to learn that.
Yeah. Always worth learning.
It is always worth learning. And like, when I teach college, I tell them, I'm like, we are here to build skills. This I cannot touch your talent. That is between you and your maker, whatever you believe, biology, God, whatever. That is between you and your maker. I am here to help you build skills. And we don't talk about that in school nearly enough. We act like it's all talent and that when you fail, it is a direct reflection of your talent. And it's like, nope, that's not true at all. These are all skills. And sometimes you're going to fail. And there's no such thing as bad work because you learn from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so key. I think in the theater world, talent is pushed so much and there's nothing you can do about how much quote unquote talent you had, or were born with or whatever. But like, if you truly think of it as a skill and skills that you have and skills that you can build, and, I think that I went to an acting class that very much was like, anyone can act. You do this, and you do this. You know what I mean? Like, you can do this. Everybody can get the tools for this. Yes. I mean, they were also like, Tessa, you're the best at acting. No. I'm just kidding. They literally never said that.
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it 100 times again. I would much rather work with an incredibly skilled actor than an incredibly talented one.
Yeah, because the talented ones are like, oh, I'm so great.
Well, and then like, great. The thing is talent can fail you and does. It is not infallible. But like, if you have skills to back it up, it's never not going to be interesting on stage.
Yeah. When I would teach improv, I would say, I can't teach you to be funny. You're either funny or you're not. And that's just what it is. So what I can teach you is that you can deliver comedy on stage, and how to deal with it if you don't get a laugh. Like if they don't find you funny and they don't laugh, here's what you're going to do. And it's like what you were saying, Cameron. It's like, here are the skills that you're going to fall back on, because whether you're funny or you're not, the audience is also still going to have to find you funny or not.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
So you could be like the most fucking talented actor in the world, but if it's just like, meh, I'm not enthralled by this performance and I don't care about this character, then all your talent is like
wasted.
It's a fucking
point,
waste.
Right,
yeah,
right.
It's a waste.
Right. And I feel like you do see people who have been funny all their lives, or like been told they're funny all their lives. And then they try and do improv and they have a hard time because there are there's a lot of skills at play, and you just need reps, right?
And they're
just
unique.
Get reps. Just get reps.
Right. There's a showmanship that you're not naturally going to have.
No.
There's so much stagecraft and technique that you need to be aware of.
Yes.
And that is unique to improv.
Yeah,
right.
It's unique to improv, and it's you wouldn't even find it in theater necessarily.
It's not in stand-up for sure.
Not in stand-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, in stand-up is a whole set of skills too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so scary. So scary.
It's terrifying.
How about yourself?
I think stand-up does require a little bit more. The couple times that I've done it, I've had to do that thing where it's like, just privately being like, I'm the fucking funniest person.
You have to feel that. Yeah,
you have to do that
to go out there in front of people and be like, I'm gonna make you laugh.
Right.
I was so scared of it. I tried it for the first time a month ago, and I was so terrified because I've done and everybody was like, well, it's the same as doing a one-woman show. You've done like 50 of those. And I was like, firstly, only like not. 3. Okay. But I was like, in a one-woman show, like in a theatrical setting, I'm if somebody laughs, it's a great bonus for me.
Yeah.
Because there's something else I'm trying to do to the audience. Right. And that's more important to me. But with stand-up, all your the only reaction you want. Well, I mean, obviously, hopefully there's nuance to it, but you are out there to get the audience to laugh. That is terrifying because what if they don't?
Yeah, that's your only job. And if it doesn't happen, then you failed. You failed your job. You have. It sucks. Tessa, because this goes into the identity thing too. Do you, with a one-woman show, I mean, it's the old thing, right? It's like you're the character. You're not yourself on stage.
Right. Well,
I
but
think-
that because the tricky thing, right? Because even
Uh-huh.
I even did like more of a character when I did the stand up because I need like distance.
Sure.
But when I do, because I do like semi autobiographical and autobiographical work, it's like
Yeah.
a version, right? It's a version of me that I have to
Right.
present.
Right.
That's like hopefully still got all the charm of me that I hope I have some.
Oh
That
yeah,
carries. I hope that carries over.
you have charm in spades.
Oh well, that's what I was gonna say about because this is interesting. That's a terrible way to start because now it's not gonna be interesting. But because of everything we were talking about, that made me think of the stand-up persona. The closest that I still do that, where I'm like, I'm fucking great at this, is when I host. I would never do that to play an improv show. If I'm playing an improv show, I'm like, all right, gotta be listening. I'm gonna take care of everybody. I'm the mom friend. I'm gonna do this. But like, if I'm hosting, I have to get the audience on our side, and I have to make everybody feel welcome, and I have to get everybody hyped up for the show. And I'm fucking good at it. Because that's
I bet you fucking are.
Because that's a set of skills that I've learned, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I can host this, I know how to do this, and I can win an audience over like that.
I bet you can.
But thank you. But what I was gonna say is that a I think that's a good part of your persona, and I think that's one of those filters that like I don't filter that into myself all the time, but maybe I should because that might be me at one of my best.
That's a fair consideration.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Because I said almost the exact same thing about like, if I'm hosting a show, that's like who I really am, but I have to tone it down for the world. Why do I have to tone it down for the world?
Right.
I shouldn't have to tone it down for the world.
You shouldn't.
Right.
And neither should you.
Well, and I agree. I mean, I don't.
You?
I agree with you completely. I don't improv, but when I am teaching or doing something in front of a group of people, like I musical directed this year, which I haven't done in a long time, but it's the same. I got up in front of people and was excited and funny and made sure that they were excited about what they were doing because it's so important. So like, it's the same thing. And I just, over the years, I've realized that I need to be more of that. That is one of the better parts of me. Those skills are unique and useful. And
Yeah, the skill to amp people up and like delight. That's what I want to do. I want to delight people.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about, is delighting people. Everything that we all do is about delighting people.
Literally right now, we're trying to delight you.
We sure are. Are you delighted?
Are you not delighted?
Are you not delighted? Real quick, side note. When did you first realize you were funny, or where did that skill come from?
Oh,
go ahead. David knows immediately. Go.
I mean, always. I'm fucking funny. It was very early on. I was a toddler practically. I feel like.
Ditto.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was a kid and I took my dad's hat and put it on my head, and I like walked into the dining room, I think, and I like tried to walk like my dad, and I was like, I'm Sean Flannery. I'm here to pick up Pam Flannery from work. And my parents laughed. And I was like, fucking hell yeah.
Nailed it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, impressions. That's what I'm good at.
And this is probably obvious, but I was a shy kid, and I come from a long line of funny. Like, everyone in my family is funny. Both of my parents were funny. All of my grandparents were funny. My brother was funny. My sister was funny. And I remember making people laugh, but I don't remember it being specific. And then the first time I remember being able to do it and do it on command was in middle school when I was being particularly bullied, and it shut people up. And I found that skill incredibly useful, which coincidentally is why you shouldn't make me drink tequila, because I will destroy you psychologically.
Oh my goodness, I cannot.
I've made it
Ron
happen.
Rickles.
It's not fun. I'm not
scared
proud,
for
but
my own self.
I don't. You shouldn't be. I don't drink tequila around dear friends for just this reason. But like,
because you don't want to tear us down.
No, I would never.
But you know how you would do
You know how you could.
I mean,
You know you have
of
it
course I
inside
do,
you that
but
you could.
I do. I have it within me to destroy anyone, like fundamentally. And
Cameron, why haven't you taken over?
because that's not who I want to be. That is not who I am on a daily basis. That was a defense mechanism, which I can still have access to. But like, it's not a weapon that I'm proud of.
Yeah. You have the overlord filter.
I have the overlord filter.
I could take everybody out, but I won't because
I'm choosing not to. I have my
because
I
I
like people.
Because I adore people. Because they're what makes life worth living. I don't really enjoy even the people that I did destroy. I felt terrible about it. Like that scene in You've Got Mail.
They deserved it.
That scene. The scene in You've Got Mail where Meg Ryan finally tells Tom Hanks to fuck off.
Yeah, and then she writes the email and is like, "You were right."
That was my story.
Oh, that's a great moment in a great movie.
I agree.
Great moment, great movie.
I agree.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I was curious because I do remember being funny and making people laugh, but I don't have a specific moment. And it wasn't until I was able to harness this for my own benefit that I recall, which probably tells far more about me than I should. But it's just
your superpower, your evil superpower.
My evil superpower. I find it incredibly interesting because all of the people that I know and love are funny, and it's so important to me, you know, even
That's
and it's
true.
Like all different kinds of humor. They're, you know, and I love it all is the thing, like from the worst puns to the highest of high art comedy. I love it all. It all makes me laugh out loud. It's my favorite. And so I just, you know, and maybe that's why I adore you both so much, is because you appreciate all of the comedies.
If it's
I
funny,
do appreciate all the
funny.
comedy.
It's funny.
I don't appreciate anything as much as I appreciate David's shiny hair.
Shut up.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's
Speaking of beautiful hair, that brings us to this week's episode of Shipping / Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We're
I
here.
didn't prepare anything.
I'm shocked.
Wait, what? How dare you? How dare you know exactly
How dare I know?
MO.
Modus operandi. I mean, I would honestly like to start with either the Marvel or the Star Wars universe, since both of those have been brought up organically. We already talked about Poe and Finn, which travesty. But
I know, what a letdown.
As far as shipping goes, but like, who else in the Star Wars universe do you ship? Luke and Han and Chewbacca.
I think Han and Lando had a thing.
Oh yeah.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I don't think it was I don't think it was like a long affair. I think it was like a brief, it was a brief tryst of something. But it was enough. It was enough for both of them, because I feel like they both live that kind of lifestyle that's like fast and loose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very fast and loose.
It didn't need to be a long relationship. It was like, no, this was it. It was like a week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, they were like definitely like at a long poker tournament or something, and just like hung out afterwards, had too many drinks in the bar, and like that's them kissing.
Thank you for explaining.
Yes, wouldn't have gotten that otherwise.
In the newer
I thought a weird alien attacked them.
Has anybody watched Toast of London, just out of interest?
No.
Oh, it's a comedy. It's like got a lot of stuff that's bad about it, but some of it's very funny. And there's this bit where they're doing dubbing, voiceover work, because they're actors, and they're these two like rival actors, and they have to dub a scene of two guys like kissing, and they literally are like those are like making the sounds of kissing. There's no need to, because you don't have to translate that, you know?
Right.
But they're it's just so bad and gross and so funny. It's so funny. Anyway,
Remarkable.
do you know
unsatisfying
yours,
sound for a
Cameron?
kiss.
I mean, I seconded the
Oh, Mary.
yeah. Mama.
I can't stop doing it now.
I can't believe Jimmy Stewart kissed that way. Oh man.
Wow.
So gross.
Oh, Mary. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
You know what though? He kind of does in that one scene when the two of them finally kiss.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a weird kiss. In that
It's 100% a weird kiss.
Because it's the part where he's yelling at her, you know, where he like comes in. I don't remember what the catalyst is, but he comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm not staying in this town, you know. I'm not staying. I don't, you know, and I don't care about you, and you know, everybody else is gone, and blah blah. And he's like yelling, and she's just like taking it, and then they just go like, oh, Mary, and then they kiss, and it is a bit of a weird kiss.
That's weird, yeah.
Wow.
It's a bit long.
It sounds a little like my favorite vomit sound, which comes from The Simpsons Halloween of Horror, when he's like,
no.
it's the Harry Potter episode, actually.
Oh, yeah,
and Bart turns his toad into a half human, and he goes, wow. Please kill me. Every moment I live is agony. Wow. But like, that is my go-to vomit sound because it is so funny. Wow.
So wait, what do we think about? Because I'm keeping us on track, obviously. But
Oh yes,
You're the boss.
You're the boss.
what do we think about Princess Leia and whoever Laura Dern played?
Oh.
That like general.
Yes.
Admiral Haldo.
I love that. I
would
a
like
late
that.
life tryst.
Yeah, like early on when they were both like lower ranked in the Resistance.
Oh no, straight up general.
No, but
fucking.
now.
Oh, General
like now
fucking?
too.
Oh.
Yeah, straight up general.
Yeah, because I mean, what's stopping them? Nothing.
They do have a super sweet moment when they say goodbye to each other.
I
They
know.
do.
You feel like maybe there's something more?
Yeah. I do.
Or maybe-
I do feel that.
Maybe there was. There doesn't seem to be much romance in the Star Wars universe, if we're being honest. Like,
Yeah.
That's a good,
it's
yeah.
brushed off. So maybe everyone, just by nature of being from this galaxy far, far away, is like, that was great. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Star Wars also very wondrously a little asexual, a little
Yes.
sexless.
Mm.
A little sexless, which is
Yeah.
a shame.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
is it though? Maybe that's good. Maybe for like folks who are ace, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, great, finally a movie where I don't have to watch these romance storylines. You know? Finally.
I follow
Finally.
an ace person on TikTok, and she is remarkable because she has a series called What the Fuck, a romantic series. Like, just she talks about all the romantic things that normal people love that just make her go, what the fuck? And she like breaks down both the sexually and romantic, because she is married
'Cause she's
to another ace. So she's asexual, but not aromantic.
Aromantic. Okay.
And so she and her ace partner are very happily married, but they just are constantly talking about nope. And it's a wonderful perspective. I love TikTok for that, even if it's
TikTok has really
becoming a garbage community.
It's got a lot of representation.
Yeah.
There's a
It
lot
does.
There all stars and stripes are on there.
Every single member of the Alphabet Mafia is on there in spades, and we love it. We love it. What about the Marvel Universe? Who do you ship?
Captain Marvel and the other lady. The other main lady in Captain Marvel's movie.
Yes, I mean that one's lovely.
What's her
what?
name?
Oh, Captain Marvel and the other woman in
She was also Captain Marvel for a while.
Gemma Chan's character.
Yes.
They don't like each other though, right? Is that I didn't totally understand the story.
No, they were best friends,
Of
and
Captain Marvel?
she felt there were abandonment issues,
Yeah, they were being.
Yeah, but I feel like
but they were best friends and probably more.
that's what I feel like. But Marvel wouldn't say.
Right. History's best friends again.
Yeah.
What we
Yeah,
were talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
earlier.
Roommates.
Roommates.
They were good friends.
Side note, I follow
History's roommates.
History's roommates. I follow a wonderful creator on YouTube named Jessica Kelgren Fozard. And she is wonderful because she dresses vintage because it makes her happy, but she and her wife just had a baby.
Oh.
But she does queer history and she talks about all of these people and she's like, they were obviously
Eleanor Roosevelt and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she breaks it down like, yeah. And she's like, yes, history says they were roommates, but we know otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's the best. I would highly recommend to follow.
I gotta go check it out.
Back to shipping. I want nothing more than Captain America and Iron Man to fuck.
Oh my gosh, the tension between those two. Ay, ay, ay.
We'll do the trio then. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh my god.
Captain America,
Oh no.
Iron Man,
Oh
Thor.
gosh.
Oh, Thor.
Thor?
Yeah,
As played in the Marvel
big
Cinematic
three.
Universe.
As played by Chris Hemsworth.
Oh my
'Kay.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, then we'll have to do the three Chris's as well.
hard.
We could do the three Chris's.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
That is really hard. I would imagine that Captain would be chivalrous. Chivalrous. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
He'd offer himself up to die.
Yeah. No, I mean the entire process would be chivalrous.
Yes, yes, yes.
He's a gent. He's a true gent.
Ah, yeah. I never in a million years thought I'd say this. I gotta marry Captain America. Gotta marry him.
Hell yeah.
He's
Good.
gonna love you forever.
Yeah.
He's going to go back in time and be old and sacrifice all his powers.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, who to kill and who to fuck? Oh no.
I mean, I think I'm also going to have to marry Captain.
There you go.
Marrying Cap, and I think I'm going to fuck Thor because you could fuck the God of Thunder.
Oh wow.
That's going to be magical. And kill Iron Man because he is great, but he dies anyway and is kind of a dick.
See, that's where I'm gonna take a different direction.
Oh, you're going to fuck Iron Man?
I'm gonna fuck Iron Man because like he's done it a lot. Like he's gonna be, you know what I mean? I think he's gonna
be good at it.
be
Good at it.
And I think Thor would be like in his head about being the god of thunder. Do you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
feel like I have something to prove, whereas like Tony Stark has nothing left to prove. He's just a machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he already is great. Yeah, he feels it.
Mjolnir to
I
the
hate
nipples. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Sorry, too much?
No.
I let my filter down. I
but
could destroy
you
the
could-
world.
when you're with Tony, you could do it in the air, in the sky, in any of his cool like places that he owns. You know?
Yeah.
Also with Thor, though. Thor can fly.
Yeah, but he's got to be swinging the hammer, doesn't he?
No, he swings the hammer to take off and then goes wherever. So, like,
But with Iron Man, you could each be wearing one of the suits.
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
mechanical enhancement. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
My answer's still
Yeah.
the same.
And I think the suit you can achieve the same Mjolnir effect on your nips.
Oh,
Oh
probably.
yeah, that's probably programmed in.
I mean,
you know,
probably.
Tony Stark, that's programmed in.
Yeah, Jarvis, excite the nips, please. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. One jolt or three.
Crank it. No.
Right? Oh, David, what's your answer?
Incredible. I would marry Cap.
Hey.
And I think I'd agree with I think I would agree with Tessa.
Fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It is tough. It's a tough one.
It is a
But,
It is a
tough
tough
one.
one.
I think I would have to go with that. I think I'd have to. I'd fuck Tony and kill Thor.
Well,
Sorry, Thor.
he's a god, so it's fine. He'll be
He's
back.
God. He'll probably come back. Yeah.
All right, we gotta do at least 3 ladies now, just for evenness and
It's
Marvel.
do.
Yes, please think of 3 ladies that are in Marvel.
I know. I was sitting here. I was like, who can we get? So,
Yeah.
well, Black Widow probably. We should include her.
Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I love that. Yes, yes,
There you
yes.
go. Wanda.
Wanda. Boy, that one's hard too.
I'm gonna marry Captain Marvel.
Oh,
You like that? You like that sense of humor, don't you?
I do. I love a dry, witty sense of humor and like sort of like tough. You know,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit
She
of
does
tough
have a swagger.
swagger. Yeah.
she's
I
swag.
think I kill Scarlet Witch.
Oh, yeah.
She's like sad, you know, she's like sad and I don't have time for that. So
She's
I
had a
guess
hard
that
life.
means
Looking for baggage that goes with mine.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have time for it. So I'm going to bang Black Widow and kill Scarlet Witch. Bye.
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 Okay.
I think I would also marry Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely would. And actually, God, that's so hard. 2 of the most powerful women in the known universe.
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to kill one of them.
I know. No, I'm going to fuck the Scarlet Witch, because imagine what that could be.
Wow.
Literally anything.
Wow.
And then,
Yeah.
sorry, Scarlett Johansson, but Black
Sorry,
Widow has to
Scarjo.
die.
Yeah. It's okay.
You're remarkable.
Wow. We all have different answers.
Yay!
Wow.
I would kill Captain Marvel.
What? The most beautiful
Yeah.
one?
I know. Well, I mean, remember we had this distinction last time.
Yeah.
I have to do it based on the character. I can't in my mind base it off of Brie Larson's looks, because Brie Larson is a beautiful and a wonderful
So
person.
beautiful.
But yeah, I can't base it on that. I have to base it on just imagining this like abstract character, because otherwise that gets weird. Yeah. I'd have to kill Captain Marvel. a fuck Black Widow,
Nice.
Oh.
because I like the sense of she could kill me.
Yeah, she could.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and marry Scarlet Witch.
Wow, that seems crazy.
It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
But like, she's
is
also
But
She's
I love
gonna
her.
be a.
But
her
I love
love
a
is
powerful
intense.
sad girl.
Her love is intense.
I love a
Oh,
powerful sad girl.
wow. Wow.
I mean, would it still be the same if she insisted she made you look like Vision?
I would be
Oh.
fine with that. I would be fine. Yeah.
Because also,
No, do not let her rearrange her molecules, dude.
I get to look like
not.
Vision if I get Vision's powers too.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
that is pretty cool.
I get real Pittsburgh. Dude, do not let her mess with your molecules. Do not do it. Just say no to Scarlet
favorite.
Witch. Go
Just say
downtown,
no.
meet a nice lady, take her for some pierogies or some permanis, and go home and go to sleep.
I know that I've irked Tessa when the
Pittsburgh comes
home
out.
accent. Yeah, when the home accent comes out.
Oh my
She does not
god, you guys
appreciate-
are gonna no, dude.
Does not appreciate my choice of marrying the most powerful woman in the world.
I mean, it is arguable. She is one of the most powerful mutants in existence, but so is Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Marvel can go in space without a space helmet.
But she also has access to all known energy. So, like, I mean, that would be a hell
The
of a battle.
hallmark of power. No space
Truly
helmet.
though.
No
Do you remember? Did anybody read the short There's a science fiction story. I took a science fiction class in high school.
Amazing.
Ooh.
And we read a lot of great shorts. And there was a short story about humanity discovers life on a moon of Jupiter. And they're like, well, we're going to destroy humanity. Humanity sends some robots to like interact and to like learn more about this alien species. And the robots like arrive in a ship that doesn't have like an atmosphere, doesn't need one because they're robots. They like stir molten, like take a sample of a molten kind of metal just like by sticking their like robot arm in. Yeah. And then they do like some other thing. And then the aliens are like, like truce. Like, we don't want to go to war with humanity. Yeah. Yeah. And then the robots are like, great. And then they get in the ship and they're flying back and they're like, we just realized we never told them we weren't humans. And so it's a great short. Anyway.
Oh, that is a great short.
That's interesting.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why being able to go in space without a space helmet is one of the most powerful powers.
I mean, it is. She does technically have a spacesuit.
But it doesn't have a helmet.
It does not have a
it
big
has a transformer helmet.
It is just so small.
Just so small.
But that's not for breathing. That's not for breathing. That's for space bugs.
It's for breathing.
To keep space bugs out of her eyes when she is flying so fast.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
That's always my favorite. I don't know what you call it, but like the nitpicker logic of fantasy. Yeah, like no, you can't do that. The one that I love is like when people fly in superhero movies. It's like, how do they not get bugs stuck in their mouth and face? And it's like they don't, because it's a story. Okay.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, my other favorite is that like a space battle would be completely silent because sound can't travel in a vacuum.
Yep.
I love that. I'm like, no, we got to keep putting sound effects in. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it would be really fun to do it just once and see how people react.
Yeah.
To do a silent space battle.
Yes.
Well, like, did you both see? This is so off a tangent. You can cut this out if it's irrelevant. But have you seen Last Jedi? Star Wars Last Jedi?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Admiral Holdo. Oh, that's right. With Laura Dern. But in the opening scene, the bombs drop out of the thing, and they drop onto the dreadnought to explode it, right?
Yeah.
All my friends saw it and they were like, oh, but they're in space. And it's like, guys, first of all, like, stop nitpicking it. It's a story. Like, they're
trying to say gravity wouldn't drop the...
Yeah, and that's also wrong. Gravity doesn't work like that. It doesn't come out of a ship and everything would just suddenly go like that. It keeps going on the momentum that it's on. So because they were being dropped, they will continue to drop even if there's suddenly no gravity. It doesn't just suddenly go, ooh, space ballet. like you guys can't complain about this and then also be wrong about how what you're complaining about works.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, you can't not know science and complain about the science of science fiction.
Yeah, no. This is staying in because things just suddenly don't go, ooh, space ballet is also t-shirt worthy.
I have one also off-topic thing to say about The Last Jedi, okay? Promise. Yes. This is the last thing that's off-topic about The Last Jedi. So the only reason I am thinking about this movie is because I watched it with my sister. It was like on TV, and we watched it when I was home recently. And I don't know if she's going to be mad that I'm sharing this song that we made up. Well, we started saying... Last Jedi would be great to adapt into a rock opera. And because Luke has got some like badass lines. And he says, right, it's time for the Jedi to end. And we said it like this. It's time for the Jedi to end. And I keep forgetting that we just made that up. And I'll have it in my head and be like, what is that jam? That is a great jam. It's time for the Jedi to end. Pops in my head, spends a day rolling around in there.
I think you get an extra. I think there's an extra burst from that. Though.
I think so too.
You get like, you're like, oh man, what is that? And then you're like, oh yeah, I made that.
I made that up.
That didn't exist before I thought of it.
Which is why we do this.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Validate me.
I love it.
Um,
I love the idea that we can also only talk about Star Wars: The Last Jedi inside tangents that may get cut out.
typical.
Typical.
Sorry, cut for time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Shit. What was I gonna say? It's gone.
Oh,
Oh, well.
sorry.
no.
It's fine. It'll probably come back halfway through our next topic. 3 Chris's. Go.
Wait, which
Oh, it's Chris Pratt.
Pratt?
Chris
Oh.
Hemsworth.
Oh.
Chris
Evans.
Evans. That's right.
So it's
Okay.
Captain Thor and
Captain America, Thor, and Star Lord.
Star-Lord. That's his name. I was like, wait.
Kill Chris Pratt. Sorry.
Yeah, kill Chris Pratt.
Immediately kill Chris Pratt.
Sorry, kill Chris Pratt. I also
now-
don't. Star Lord is not particular. I like Guardians, but I don't. I'm not particularly jazzed about Star Lord anyway.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Chris
know.
Pratt as Star-Lord, whatever. But
I mean,
like,
he was
especially
charming,
in comparison
but,
to
like-
Thor and Captain
yeah.
America,
Yeah.
right,
who are charming and more. You know,
Yes.
right.
I don't know.
Now I have the chance to fuck Thor.
Yes, same,
And I'm
same.
going to continue to marry Chris Evans. Like,
always marry
Yeah,
Captain
no.
America.
always marry Captain
Always
America.
marry Scotty. Always marry Captain America. Because I'm the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, also, I think actually always marry Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Like, he's just great. Isn't he great?
Oh, man.
I don't want to build him up too much.
I'm Chris Evans. I can't do it. I was trying to do it.
You're just Chris Evans, like silently putting his hand out to like help someone do a thing, but not in an attention-seeking way, in just a truly generous, helpful way.
Just trying to help. Oh man, just trying to help. Can't do it. That's not it at all.
Gosh.
Not close
And his
at
like
all.
little face. Oh,
He's
and
great.
even he looks good with a beard, which I'm gonna say, not a lot of men can pull off beards, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yes.
No. We've talked about this.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. I mean, I guess I'm
No, he's a
bisexual. I don't love beards. Okay.
The two genders are no beard and beard.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I don't
I'm gonna
love
tell you
beards.
what. No, I don't love beards.
I don't fuck beards. Boy, we're killing it in the t-shirt game, y'all.
I love his beard in
Snowpiercer?
not Civil War.
Snowpiercer? No. Oh, sorry. You're talking about a Marvel movie.
I was talking about a Marvel movie, but his
Sorry.
Snowpiercer beard is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a damn good beard. Yeah. Yeah.
I just started thinking about Chris Evans.
I mean, fair. Does everyone need a minute?
Does anything change if it's we've universally killed Chris Pratt. So if I take Chris Pratt out, and I'm just talking about the Chris's now, not their characters. But he came up last time too because we were talking about Captain James T. Kirk. If it's Chris Pine,
Oh, my
Chris
God.
Evans, and Chris Hemsworth, does that change anything for y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm killing Chris Hemsworth, and I am fucking Chris Pine, and I'm still gonna marry Chris Evans.
There it is. Okay, great.
Chris
Okay.
Pine could do whatever he wants to me for one night.
Yeah. Only. Do not call me afterwards, Chris Pine.
Chris Pine,
I know I'm unforgettable, but god damn it.
Chris Pine, you have got to stop calling me. It was one
That's the
night.
T-shirt I want. That's the T-shirt I want. Chris Pine, you have got to stop calling me. We would probably get sued. I don't know how
We
litigious
would get
Chris
sued.
Pine is, but
He's very litigious because he keeps calling me. He just cannot let it lie. Anyway.
I might have to completely change my answer.
Oh, here we
Ooh.
go. Here we
Uh-oh.
go.
he's gonna marry.
I think
Chris
I would
Pine.
marry Chris Pine.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck Chris Hemsworth.
Wow.
And
You're gonna
kill
kill. No,
Chris
no, no. You're not gonna
Yeah.
kill the
think I
angel
would.
of the earth,
Oh,
Chris
I think I would.
Evans.
Then we can all mourn him together.
Oh my gosh, I do not want to mourn my husband.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
David.
I would marry. Oh man, I think I would still marry Chris Evans.
Yeah, always marrying Chris Evans.
Oh no. Maybe I
ABC
no,
always be marrying Chris Evans.
no, you know,
ABC.
no. Oh, you know what? It's the ABCs of FMK. No, you know what? Bit of I think I marry Chris Pine. I
Ha!
fuck Chris Evans. Sorry, I'm gonna fuck your husband.
Oh my
And
God.
then and then I'll kill Chris Hemsworth.
We're still just like
Sorry, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth would. This is the thing. Like, I just want to point out, like, I would not say no if Chris Hemsworth came knocking on my door right now.
Oh.
I just, when you have to kill someone, unfortunately,
Yeah,
he
you're
is
just
getting the axe.
You're following the rules of the game.
I'm following the rules.
It's
Following the
nothing
rules of the
personal.
game.
It's nothing personal against
No.
you.
No, it's nothing personal. It's absolutely nothing personal.
The key part of it is the time, like the thing that people should take away from it is the time it took for us to arrive at our answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Right.
pride that people should
Right.
take.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
like Chris Hemsworth, if you were to hear it and like and it first is
He's
like,
gonna hear
oh,
this.
if you took it, he's definitely gonna hear it. I'm sending it to him when we're done.
Via Twitter.
Via Twitter,
Oh my gosh.
but via DMs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're DMing. Well,
yeah, I'm DMing him. Sliding right in there. No, but if he heard it and he took it personally that he was like, oh, they killed. I'll do Chris Hemsworth. They killed me. That's not good at all. But what he should take away is that like, oh, they took a long time to answer that question.
Some of us.
So,
But I will say, before I killed Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah.
I would kiss him like this.
a little kiss. That's where you end it. That's
So
where
you a
end it.
Daenerys Targaryen him. Okay. I would love to switch to my favorite branch of the Marvel universe real quick.
Okay.
Which is where I live and breathe, X-Men. Yep.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm going to fuck all of them.
Yeah, no, same. Storm, Jean Grey, and Rogue. Go.
Jean Grey and Rogue.
We're
Which-
talking like
which
original
ones?
comics, or are we
Yes,
talking
original
animated series,
comics.
or are we talking? Okay.
I mean, I do love the animated series.
Me too.
Yeah.
Have you
Very
ever seen
different
have
than-
you seen the I think it's Blunt trailers, or that's what
Honest
it's called.
trailers.
Honest trailers
Oh.
of the X-Men animated series.
Yes.
I'm going to have to send it to you immediately
it to
after
me.
this, because it's one of my favorite things, because it talks about how Jean is always Scott orgasming.
Yeah. Jean
Scott.
is useless on the show.
Yes. Scott. And how Jean and Scott are constantly yelling each other's names. Jean!
Yeah.
Scott! Jean! Scott! It's my favorite. Let's go animated series. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's also tough because I can't unsee like Sophie Turner as Jean Grey.
That's
Or-
fair.
Right. And then it feels weird, doesn't it?
It feels a little weird. Who was the third one? Oh, Rogue. Oh man, if we're going on animated series,
Animated
What's-
series.
hmm.
I'm gonna marry Storm. I'm gonna call that right now.
Yep.
For sure.
Same.
Of the animated series, I'm marrying
She's
Storm.
queen. She's queen.
She's the best.
She's
And then I guess I'm gonna. Oh wait. Well, we can't.
I was gonna say you're missing.
We can't fuck Rogue.
She
Can't
hasn't
fuck
mastered her
it.
powers yet. If you fuck her, you will
Right.
die.
Okay.
So
Has
kill
By the
Rogue.
animated, she
We gotta
has by the
kill Rogue.
animated series.
Not in the beginning. Like at the end, she has mastered her powers.
And she wears the gloves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she just has to keep the gloves on.
But what about her vagine? Do you know what I'm saying?
She can't kiss anyone
she can't
either.
wear a glove
She
of
kissed.
her vagine.
She kissed. No, I wouldn't trust a condom.
No, that's not gonna be enough to protect you. Okay, so we gotta kill Rogue.
Yep, gotta kill Rogue.
And we gotta fuck Jean.
Yep.
And she's gonna scream Scott while we do it.
She is, and that's okay.
Are you okay, David?
No. No. I've never had to get away from me so hard. I can't recover. I can't. Cut the feed. Jesus. Oh, God. The Vagine Gray. Okay. There we go. I get back in with a pun. I guess I'll have to agree with you guys because I don't even remember. I don't remember what day it is. And
Sound logic.
I don't remember what universe I'm in. Don't remember who I am. I'll just agree with you guys. Yeah.
Other X-Men pairings, go.
Pairings or triplets?
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, well, we should do Wolverine eyeballs.
Yeah.
Eyeballs.
Should we do Beast?
Ooh, yes.
That's fun, huh?
Beast, Cyclops, and Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah. I mean, I got my answer.
You go first.
I would marry Beast. I would fuck Cyclops, and I would kill Wolverine.
Wow. Oh, we're
if this is the animated series. If this is the animated series. If it is the movie, that's a very different answer.
Animated series.
Because I would kill Kelsey Grammer.
Wait, Kelsey Grammer played Wolverine? I thought Kelsey Grammer played Beast.
No, he played Beast in
okay. Okay.
In that third one that we don't speak about.
I would marry Beast as well, but I would fuck Wolverine and kill Cyclops.
I would marry Cyclops.
Oh.
What?
And fuck Beast.
Wow, and kill Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was kind of gruff in the animated series.
Yeah, that's why I
especially because they wouldn't let him swear. You egg-sucking piece of trash.
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Egg-sucking piece of gutter trash. There we go. Got it.
Incredibly creative swearing on children's shows is always my favorite.
It's my favorite.
Oh, why don't you go outside? It's just incredible stuff.
Incredible. Okay.
Oh,
you're up, David.
I'm up. What am I doing? What
X-Men.
Beast?
Apparently the animated series.
Another set.
A different set? Oh, God. Okay.
What am I doing? Who am I? You're the boss, David.
I know. I am the boss now. I'm holding the boss.
Yeah, you're the
stick.
boss.
Gaslight, gatekeeping, girl boss. Here I am.
Of course you are. And I am a dwarf.
We made those gates, you know?
We built them. They were strong.
We built them.
They've lasted 100 years.
Made out of adamantine mithril, they are.
Adamantine mithril and scotch.
You wouldn't even get through them with a Poseidon's bow. I've officially lost my mind. Let's go. Let's do villains. Mystique. I'm trying to hang on. Mystique. Magneto. Sabretooth?
Apocalypse.
Yeah, I was going to say Apocalypse, but then I was like, I feel like everybody's going to kill Apocalypse.
Just for the benefit of humanity. We have to.
Yeah, just because.
Sabretooth.
Okay, Sabretooth.
Fascinating.
It's ethically correct to kill Apocalypse, so, you know.
But if it was movie Apocalypse.
Because it's Oscar Isaac.
Yep.
It's Poe under there.
It is Poe under there.
What a shame.
Yeah. But it's Sabretooth. I'll say Sabretooth.
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 What about one of those Instead of Sabretooth, one of those
Sentinels.
Oh, sentinels.
A sentinel.
You can only fuck a sentinel. You can't kill a sentinel.
Oh, right. Okay.
You're only allowed to fuck it. And you can't marry
Or
it. 'cause
marry
that-
it?
No, you're not allowed to marry robots.
Fine.
I mean,
Never mind.
It's not sanctioned. It's not allowed, guys.
who are you to tell me what I can and can't do?
I'm the boss right now.
That's right. David's the boss. Do not forget that camera.
We could have done androids too in the other one
yeah.
in the Marvel universe, because we could have done Ultron, Vision,
Oh, we still can.
Yeah.
Can. That's a good one.
and
Silver Surfer.
oh yeah, so there you go, Silver Surfer. Yeah,
I mean, technically
Sabretooth
he's a being, but basically
right.
Basically an
Sabretooth
android.
is Liev Schreiber for reference.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, okay. This
But
changes things.
because in the comics he's like, or in the cartoon he's that weird, crazy, like he's got like the big mullet or
Mhm.
whatever. Sabretooth is insane in the comic, in the
Yes.
cartoon.
He is. And his voice is like Wolverine's, but it's higher.
Yeah.
He just growls a lot up here.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't.
Just what a
It's
great
like my
show.
Sabretooth impression.
I like it.
Can we talk to Sabretooth right now?
No!
Oh, okay.
That's all I got.
I'm gonna fuck Mystique.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna marry Magneto and kill Sabretooth.
Ooh.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
fascinating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would go with as well.
Great.
It's funny because Magneto came up last time and you had a very different answer.
Me?
Yes.
Well, that's
Oh,
because
when we were
but that's
okay.
because it was up against
Up against Gandalf?
yeah, up against Ian McKellen's Gandalf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
That's
Come
the
on.
other thing. I like. That's the other thing I will say too. It's like I like Ian McKellen. I love Ian McKellen. I don't love his Magneto as much as the cartoon Magneto or like even comics Magneto. I think Ian McKellen's Magneto is a little. I don't know. There's something missing for me.
I agree with you, but like he makes up for it when he's paired with Patrick Stewart because
Yes.
that's everything I could have ever hoped.
For sure.
Right. Like who else? I don't know that there's anybody else I would want in that role.
Right.
But I hear what you're saying.
Because that reflects on them. That reflects well on them of like, I can believe that they're friends because they are friends.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's not, there's no acting involved. It's like, it's heartbreaking to watch an actual friendship like fall apart. That's what Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy are missing. Because I love their interpretations of the character too, but I don't believe they're friends.
I don't believe they're friends either. Yeah.
Nope.
Interesting.
I believe that they're very much in conflict with each other. And that's good for them to convey, but I don't believe they're friends.
100%.
Did you say, Cameron?
No, I haven't yet. I would. I think I would.
Pensively. He looks up dramatically into the.
Dramatically. I think I am going to fuck Magneto, marry Mystique, and kill
Ooh.
Sabretooth.
Nice.
So we all ended up killing
Nice.
Sabretooth anyway. I should have just gone with Apocalypse.
I mean, if it's
We'll
animated,
never know
yeah,
what would have happened. We'll never know.
it might have
We'll
been a
never
hell of
know.
a thing, but like, I don't know. Mystique is intriguing.
Yeah.
It would be an interesting married life.
She's a fun one.
Is it okay if we go to sleep now? Boss?
Oh, you're the boss now. If you
You're
want
the
to go to
boss.
sleep, you can go to sleep.
I'm the worst. I made you all wait for me, and then I was like, oh, sleepy.
We had a great
No.
time.
No,
Um,
fine. Totally good.
But yeah, we can totally sign off. We've been recording for quite some time. We have a lot of content here.
Yeah. You might be able to make 2 episodes out of this.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know.
Well, on that note, thank you
That's
for
all I
listening, everyone, to Omni Bilateral Panic. I'm Cameron, unfortunately.
I'm David, telling you to take a book. It's all in there. So
Shit, I forgot to do the stupid sign up.
I'm gonna force it and make it a thing.
I'm Cameron signing off and saying, fuck, I forgot to do a clever sign off.
Ooh, meta, very meta.
And I'm Tessa, reminding you that if it's a glass, it's breakable.
There it is. There it is.
Well, I'm going to send you guys goodnight kisses.
Well,
I can't. I'll stop. I'll be done.
Oh, it's so good.
it's so funny.
It's such a stool. I'm stealing bits, but
It
what can you
doesn't
do?
matter. It's so
funny.
good.
Who cares?
It's so good. The best material is stolen material.
That's why it's good.
So
That's why it's
saith our Lord and Savior Stephen Sondheim. So
fun. And what does he know? Right?
whole lot of
All
nothing.
right, kids.
All right, cuties.
Another one of